What are autistic meltdowns, and why is it important to be aware of them? Autistics have different ways of processing the world around them, so situations that non-autistics find easy to deal with can actually be really difficult for us, which sometimes triggers a meltdown. For me, a severe meltdown feels like my body is trying to escape the chaos inside my mind, so I fidget, cry and shout to try and distract myself from the even louder noises occurring internally. Common signs of a meltdown include hand flapping, head hitting, kicking, pacing, rocking, hyperventilating, loss of the ability to communicate, and complete withdrawal into the self. There's a popular saying within the autistic community which is, "We're not giving a hard time, we're having a hard time." There are many things that can cause a meltdown, but perhaps most prevalent is increased sensitivity to light, smell, heat, sound, taste, noise, and touch. One way of experiencing a meltdown can be explained in the following scenario. Imagine you need to visit the pharmacy. You would typically drive, walk, or get the bus, go into the shop, buy the product, and head home. A relatively straightforward process, right? But for autistic people, it's much more complicated than that. Firstly, mustering the courage to leave the house can be difficult due to the unpredictability of the outside world. What if the bus is late, or you see somebody you know and you have to talk to them without anticipating it? You arrive at the pharmacy and the first thing you notice is how bright the lights are. They're so powerful they dominate your field of vision so that everything you perceive is engulfed by a bright white hue. Then the sounds begin to inundate your ears. Staff announcements, the pop music on the speakers, a high-pitched ringtone, a group of teenagers giggling, checkouts beeping, a baby crying. So you clamp your hands over your ears and the staring commences. A child is among the onlookers and he's so engrossed by the spectacle that he accidentally bumps into you. As you feel your bodies make brief contact, you wish you could jump out of your skin. You block it out as much as you can by humming, keeping your hands over your ears and taking controlled steps. The giggling teenagers are sampling perfume and the various scents are irritating your nose. You feel the tears prick your eyes as you pace back and forth. Your clothes are itching, your hair is sticking to your lip balm, the heat is unbearable and you haven't even bought what you need before you rush out of the store. You phone a family member to pick you up and you break down in their car, rocking and wailing uncontrollably. It could have been worse, you think. It could have happened while still in the shop. Nevertheless, you feel defeated, judged and incompetent for not managing an independent trip to the pharmacy. The term meltdown is itself synonymous with temper tantrum, and it's also used to refer to someone who's overreacting to something trivial. This demonstrates how far society must go to understand the struggles of autistic people trying to cope in environments that just don't cater for their needs. While some shops are participating in a quiet hour, and while society is slowly becoming more accepting of people with various additional needs, I still find that I'm stared at more than I'm helped. Perhaps most concerning and upsetting for me is the ridicule of autistic people on the internet. The most obvious is the popular meme, which is a drawing of two individuals shaking hands. There's a third figure crouching beside them with the words autistic screeching above their head. Making fun of autistic people for being overwhelmed or reacting in a non-conventional way is both ignorant and nasty. Autistic is not an insult and bullying isn't cool. If more people knew what meltdowns are and how to help somebody experiencing one, we could remove many of the barriers faced by autistic people when it comes to inclusion and access. So, what practical things can you do to help? In many cases, the signs of a meltdown show before one actually occurs. This is what's known as the rumble stage. If you're with an autistic person who's showing signs of distress, try calmly offering them reassurances. Sensory aids such as fidget toys, sunglasses, or headphones can help with the overwhelm. Ask if they need space or if they need to go home. Finally, if you observe somebody behaving in a way that you're not used to, remind yourself that they're probably doing the best that they can in their given situation, autistic or not. Never try to stop the behaviour unless the person is doing physical harm to themselves or others. If other people are staring or being inappropriate, ask them to move on and not to cause a scene. Do your best to help make sure we all thrive, regardless of our sensory sensitivity.